So today I'm actually sharing with you what it actually takes to become a profitable online yoga course creator. And I'm excited to be here with you all because for some of you, this will be the start of your online yoga business journey. And isn't that exciting? And maybe you've been teaching for the last year or so on Zoom for the first time, and perhaps it doesn't quite feel like a business yet because your income doesn't reflect the time and energy that you've been investing into these Zoom classes. If it doesn't feel like a business right now because of that. And this journey that you're about to embark on really is the solution to that, right? It's the solution to creating a profitable online business. And it's really the answer. It's the answer to, allow you to really free up your time and create that additional income stream. And it's not an overnight thing, right? It's not an overnight thing. It requires you to do some work, but it can be very lucrative when you do show up to do the work and when you're consistent, right? When you're consistent. Lots of you are online already, which is brilliant. It's a first step. I always say that, what's happened over the last year, phase 1 was getting yourself online and getting all your Zoom class and all of that tech stuff set up. Phase 2 is looking at what you can do next, to move that forward and to think beyond that drop-in class, but actually look and start thinking like a business owner. And, for many of us, we were forced online with the pandemic. You were forced online, you had to learn how to do everything, how to use Zoom and the booking systems and all of that. And so, you've got your online classes, there's your online classes, and then there's an online yoga course, isn't there, right? And they are two very different offerings, right? They're two very different offerings with two very different price points. Okay, and so they require you as a business owner to have a very different mindset. Okay, and everything in our business involves two things, right? It involves two things: strategy and mindset. Okay, and I actually think it's like 20% strategy, 80% mindset. We know that 80-20 rule, right? Pareto's principle. We know that one, right? The best strategies, you can have the best strategies in your toolbox, but if you don't have the right mindset to match that, those strategies will not work for you, okay? And when it comes to the strategies that you need to move your community, your audience from, say, a $10 drop-in class to a maybe $300, $400, maybe even $500 online course, perhaps even more, it's not impossible. You need to understand, don't you? In order to move your community along to that type of offering, you need to understand who you're selling to, and you need to understand what is the transformation that you're selling. Okay, and actually be able to craft this online course in a way that makes your students feel like you're reading their mind, because this is just what they needed right now. Does that make sense? And so when it comes to you, when it comes to your mindset, it's really about you stepping into your power, right? Being 100% sold on what it is that you now have to offer, right? And so it's about confidence, isn't it? Because you've done all of the work to understand what your audience need from you, and you validated that. You only gain confidence when you take action and you actually do the work, right? And so we have to be prepared to embrace imperfect action, because when things don't go to plan, which when you're in a business, when you're running a business, things don't always go to plan, and if we see that as failure, we get stuck, we get disappointed in ourselves. And actually nothing is failure. We must start seeing these opportunities as a way to learn and improve and to move forward. So your mindset is so important, as you level up in your business. And when I talk about level up, I'm talking about going from this $10 drop-in class. I mean, it might be a different price point for you, to a online course that's more premium priced, because you're taking your students through a journey. And as we go through the next couple of days, you'll start to understand why you would package it up and it would be a premium priced offering for your students. Right now you might be thinking, oh, I could never price something at $300 or $500. But trust me, you can, okay? Stay on this journey with me over the next 3 days and you will understand this process more. So, when we're leveling up in that sense, we put things in our way. We make excuses, don't we? We make excuses, we create distractions, we procrastinate, right? It happens to all of us. Does that resonate with you? Is what I'm saying so far, is it resonating? Do let me know. And believe me, when I say that you only get to this part, okay, of moving, of leveling up, right? Of moving through the comfort zone to the next stage in your business when you're ready. Yeah, when you're ready. And some of you will be telling yourself that you're not ready yet. Not being ready is usually just a disguise for perhaps, not fully trusting yourself to do the work, to be consistent, or, fear. It's fear, really. So I want to encourage all of you to really look at how you can play a bigger game now in your yoga business, and to move outside of that comfort zone, that place that feels comfortable. And it's, that's what it takes. Like, you must be prepared to really move into parts of your business that feel a bit foreign and that feel a bit scary. And that's why, having support as you do that, as you make that journey, to really keep you accountable, is often the magic ingredient that we're missing, right? Because we think we can do everything on our own. Trust me, I've been there. I know that feeling of, I can do all this on my own. So I think, just really ask yourself some questions. Am I playing small right now? How am I limiting myself? We find a distraction, and we find ways to procrastinate and beat around the bush. And so, I think it's okay, know that it's okay, and it's just part of this journey, and it always comes back to this, right? And so moving from just offering your Zoom drop-in classes, or even studio classes. You might be, fortunate enough to be back in the studio where you live. And so you might be, running some drop-in classes or in a studio, but moving from that to actually creating a goal in your business to create and launch an online course, that's a big shift. It's a big shift. So are you ready for that? Are you ready to create your own online yoga course? Are you? Because, as I said, it's just our minds that hold us back. And the great thing about that is we can train our minds. Right? We can train our minds for success. We can cultivate an entrepreneurial success mindset. And that's where I come in, right? That's where I come in to support you with that. And the thing is, we have to be ready, because now is the time. The timing couldn't be more perfect. The timing could not be more perfect for you right now, because there are billions of people in the world that can be reached with your message, right? The world is online. 60% of the world are online. It's probably more than that. That's a bit of an old stat, right? That will be increasing day by day. Many people are not privileged enough to have a yoga studio on their street corner, or to live within a yoga studio. And online learning, online education, which includes courses, coaching, training, all of that, mentorship, anything online that's to do with education, is a it's growing at an alarming rate, guys. We have to pay attention to these statistics, right? It's a $400 million a day industry. It's expected to increase 5 times by 2025. Okay, so we don't want to get to 2025 and see this explosion of online education that's happened around us, of which the yoga industry is part of, and not be part of it, and wish that we'd got started with, you know, creating our own online education for our students years ago. Okay, we don't want that to happen. We don't want to be in that situation, in that position. There's a huge opportunity for yoga teachers to teach online and to really impact other people's lives, right? For you to impact your students' lives and to get paid for that, to be paid for your time and your effort and your energy and teaching, essentially your gifts, right? And, you know, maybe you're thinking, well, I don't have a community. I don't have a community right now. Yeah? And, you know, I started with zero. You might be starting with zero. Yeah? You might be starting with zero. So Justin says I have the wrong community. That's okay. You can change that. You know, we can make, this is the point, right? Of being a business owner. You make decisions. You're the one that makes the decisions. You're the business owner. So you decide, what is your niche? What is your niche? Who do you need to change to? Yeah, do you need to change your focus? You change your focus today, that's fine. We do it, right? We take action. A year from now, you've had a year of a new focus. And it might be zero, but it's okay. You can totally start now. You can totally start now. So Ali, how do I build my email list? So that's not a session for today, but I have tons of resources on this, right? If you go to the Yogipreneur podcast, I've done episodes on list building. Yeah, I've done episodes, but essentially you need a freebie. You need a freebie. How did you guys come onto my email list? So you need a freebie that's really valuable for your community and speaks their language, like where they're at right now. I know my niche is for teachers who want to get online, yeah, and want to have online courses so that they can build profitable businesses and make more impact in the world. So I started with zero 4 years ago, and you might be starting with zero, okay? In 4 years, my commitment, okay, dedication, hard work, persistence, tears, you know, not giving up, going after my dreams, you know, grit has enabled me to build a multiple 6-figure business, online business. And I know that that phrase gets thrown around a lot. And perhaps it might not be a goal for you, and that's okay. Okay, but the point is, it has allowed me to create impact. Okay, allow me to create impact, not just in my life, but also in my students' lives. Okay, because now I get to teach the same framework to my students, and they can use that in their online business, and they're also having financial success. Okay, one of my students, Marilyn, she did actually reach six figures in her business. So she was a student in 2018 with me. She came through my program. And last year in the pandemic, she tripled the size of her community and made 6 figures in sales for her online course. Okay, so the framework works if you're consistent and you put the work in. You know, Maria is another student of mine. She made 30K in sales last year. Claire went through the program last year, made 10K on her first launch, Megan 5K, Caroline 21K. One of my existing students, Annie, told me yesterday that her first launch, literally she's just finished her first launch, she's brought in 6.5K. So it takes hard work, but it's all totally possible. And these are all great results. Like, these are some of our best case studies of students who have gone through the Profitable Yoga Teacher program. But there's just as many students who are making their first 1K, 2K, 3K. I mean, I really believe like making any kind of money from your first online course is just amazing. And the reason for that is because it's just the beginning, isn't it? You've gone through the process, you've learned so much, you've now created an online course, which becomes an asset in your business, and you can launch it again and again and again and again. And so, as I said, I'm 4 years in. I'm 4 years in. My last launch, which was the April launch for the Profitable Yoga Teacher, brought in almost 200K, right? Incredible! My first ever course launch 4 years ago brought in a big fat zero. Zero, guys. Yeah? So I know like that my students can get to the same place, like if they follow the steps and they're consistent in how much they show up. Like that's key. That's really, really key. But as I said, I know there's a lot of hype online about, creating six-figure business and all of this and all of this. And we must remember that not every six-figure business is profitable, okay? It's not every six-figure business is profitable. So when we talk about profit, we actually mean the revenue from the course sales minus expenses, okay? So your expenses could be staff costs, venues, ad spend, salary, systems, all of the things that are costing you money. So minus those expenses, that's your profit. And the businesses that are more profitable are the businesses that have reduced expenses. Online businesses, exactly. If I compare like my other business, which is called Good Yoga Life, it's actually the first business that I started back in 2015, and it's a retreat business. I've run 25 retreats in the last, since then, basically hundreds of classes and events in London. That business has a lot of expenses, right? A team of teachers, venues, marketing, retreat villas, food, travel. So my profit potential is reduced, isn't it? And my revenue for that business, I was hitting in that business, was around 70, 80K. And this, I'm talking pounds here, a year. And I was actually really careful, like not to go over the VAT threshold, which is about 82,000 or something, because that would have actually had a detrimental effect on my balance sheet. So there's actually a ceiling as to what you can earn. Yeah. And it would have only been worth me going over the VAT threshold if I was doing more and more retreats. And I was already stretched. Like one year I did 10 retreats. It becomes unsustainable. It really does. And then you compare that to Digital Yoga Academy, where everything is online and my expenses are reduced. My expenses on my team, my pay, my salary, systems, marketing, my business coaches, right? And so there are expenses, but the ceiling is lifted, isn't it? Because I can reach more people. I'm not limited to, the four walls of a studio, or capped by the number of people that can attend my retreat. So it's way more sustainable and scalable. With online, with teaching online, you have opportunity to reach more people. You have opportunity to reach way more people. And, the possibilities are endless. So making, six figures, it's an awesome feeling, but getting there is a ton of work and it takes time. Yeah. And, successful businesses, they're not born overnight, guys. It's not a thing around this overnight success. It doesn't exist. Like, it takes years of expertise, practice, failing, hard work, failing some more. I've been there. I've made so many mistakes and I've had to. But there are some things that I really know to be true that will get you on the road to making more money in your business. And that is when you take your business online and you build an asset in your business, right? The asset is the online course, the thing that you create that you can then sell again and again. You're not trading your time for money. And of course, in the beginning, it's hard work and you really have to put all your work into it and effort. Of course, none of this, is just handed to us on a plate. But the key thing is we open up the ceiling, don't we, as to what is actually possible. And, you just have to get your foundations in place and get the systems in place sooner rather than later, and the support that you need sooner rather than later. And, they are really the essentials that will set you up for success. But if you're persistent and consistent and you learn how to do this, it's all possible. Like, whatever your financial goal is, it's all possible. And we know this isn't just about creating financial freedom, is it? Let's be real. You know, ultimately, this is about creating a bigger impact. And I know that all of you, like myself, we want to create a bigger impact. Like, that is why we're here, right? That's why we're here. Because as yoga teachers, what do we want to do? We want to help people with their lives. Yeah, we want to help people with their lives to move through the challenges and the struggles. And what has happened over the last year? What have we seen over the last year? What have we seen? Yeah, it's been magnetized, hasn't it? It's been magnetized. And you know, your online course can really help someone on a much deeper level than your drop-in classes will. You know, that's really what it comes down to. Like, you get to make a bigger impact in the world, and the timing is so right for this right now, because the world needs healing, guys. We only have to look around us. Think about your own journey. Like, I've been going on a healing journey. We're always going on a healing journey, but I really feel like in the last 2 years that has been just magnetized, right? We've put a magnifying glass on it. You know, think about your network, your friends, your family, your students. What have they been going through? We've had to deal with so much change in our lives, the way we work, the way we're living, the way we look after our families. Everything is changed. Everything has changed. The world has changed. Right? The world has changed. You know, I've been in an online course this year for my healing, for my extra healing that I've been going through. You know, and so people are looking online for that. People are looking online for that. They're looking online for that healing. And, you know, this is what you've been training for. I truly believe that. You know, there are people out there that are looking for healing and they're seeking it out online. And so think about the chapters of your life, guys, which is what's brought you to be here at this unique time in the world. This is what you've been training for. Yeah. And so, you know, I really believe that is why we're here. I believe that's why I'm here. You know, I believe that's why in 2018 I created a program for yoga teachers on how to do this. Yeah, because this is why it's all just aligned the way it has. It's all aligned the way it has. And so, you know, I know it feels overwhelming and you might not know where to start, and that's okay. You're starting today. You're here with me now, and you're starting right now today. And you know, maybe you're thinking, yeah, okay, I could create this online course, but you're stuck because you don't know all the things that you need to do, or you're not sure how to get started. And there's so many things that you do need to do, you know, things like, let's have a think about what the things are that you need to do. You know, creating your course from scratch, creating something that's compelling, that's valuable, that people will pay money for, right? Recording and editing all of those yoga videos. You've probably had some experience in that over the last year. Building your community. Yeah, many of you are starting from zero, building a community of people who will be qualified to come into this online course, and putting yourself out there, right? Putting yourself out there, being visible, and actually launching your course to your community that you've been building. You know, there's those things that you might be thinking, I haven't got a clue where to start with all of that. And then there's things like creating sales pages, email sequences, Facebook ads, all of the tech stuff, the integration. All of this can feel very overwhelming, and I get it. You know, as someone who has been creating online courses now for the last 4 years, like, I get it. And I've learned to really just break down the entire process into simple steps and into a framework that works, that actually works. And so, you know, remember that when you have support to do this, you can do anything. You can do anything. So yeah, when you have a framework, it works, right? And there is a framework and some really kind of clearly defined steps to follow. And this is the framework, as I said, that I use in my that I use in my business. It's what I teach inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher program. Some of you know about this program already, but you know, having that framework to learn all of those things and to understand all of those things really does support you. And so you may be thinking that, well, this is what it takes. This is what it takes to create and launch an online course. You need to know that framework. And whilst that's true, you do need to have a framework, a tried and tested framework, step by step. This isn't what I'm talking about today. Remember, today's session is what it actually takes to become a profitable online yoga course creator. It takes you. You is what it takes. You is what it takes. Yeah, like think about it. The reason why so many business owners and yogipreneurs struggle and never see their dream, you know, become anything more than just a dream is because they don't actually think like a business owner. And when you went through your teacher training, you came out as a yoga teacher. You didn't think you were coming out as a business owner, did you? You know, wearing a business owner hat, a marketing hat, an accounting hat, all of these different hats. And, you know, successful business owners, they're successful because they make the right decisions, like they take action and they do the things that successful business owners do. And people that aren't doing that, you know, people who are stuck, you know, in their old ways of working, you know, the people that aren't growing their businesses, it's because they're stuck in fear and they're not making the right decisions. And it really is as simple as that. It really, really is as simple as that. Like, how do you expect to become successful if you don't take the actions and make the decisions that successful people do, you know, that successful business people do? And what this means is that we have to, you know, accept that there are certain things in our business that sometimes are better delegated, right? Or, you know, or we have to accept that sometimes we actually have to invest and pump some money into our business so that we have the right systems there, you know, the right software, the right tools to help us, to help move things forward. Like, if we stay in the mindset that we don't ever have to pump any money into our business in order to grow and that we can do everything ourselves, then we're not going to grow. Yeah, because our time and energy is a limited resource, isn't it? Okay, so, you know, just ask yourself now, if you've been struggling to get your business off the ground, or you're finding yourself like working harder and longer in your business than any job would ever ask of you. I'm here to tell you today that some things have to change. Yeah, there's some changes to be made. And, you know, how you see your business really determines what's possible. Really really does. Like, it took me a while to get this. So I'm speaking from experience here, you know, and I've had support from coaches to get me where I am today. Like, I came from a 15-year marketing career. Like, that's my background in marketing. And, you know, I was marketing director, you know, I worked my way up the marketing ladder in that time, you know, degree educated, masters in marketing. So I've been working in business for a long time. And, you know, it still took me a while to get this, that in order to grow, I had to stop thinking I could do everything myself and actually start receiving support and actually start investing in my team and myself and my business. And when you do that, like when that clicks, the penny drops, everything changes. It really, really does. I'm here to tell you anything is possible. Like 100% of the time. Success isn't just for certain people, right? It really isn't. It's for you. You can have success in your business, but you have to believe it. Like, we have to stop playing small. Yeah, we have to stop playing small. And it's okay. It feels scary and I totally get it. But this is what it takes to actually become a profitable online yoga business owner. You know, it's about thinking and acting like it's about already thinking and acting like a successful business owner. And you know, struggling to get your business off the ground, it isn't because you aren't experienced enough or high profile enough or popular enough, or you weren't in the space when, you know, the online space boomed. It's none of that. They're just excuses. They really are. You know, the actual reason is just because you're keeping yourself, you keep telling yourself fibs to keep yourself small. It's a little bit of tough love there. It comes with love, I promise. You know, we tell ourselves fibs to keep us small because we're not willing to be brave enough just yet. And, you know, I think, you know, sometimes I receive emails from people in my community, teachers in my community, who are thinking about coming into a program with me, let's say, and they're the vast majority of them, like, they're not questioning me or the program. They're actually questioning things like, you know, can I really do this? You know, is my yoga business ready? Like, am I kidding myself to think that people want to learn online with me? And when I receive these messages, like, they're all kind of highlighting the same thing. They highlight the struggle, yeah, we often have, and I'd say especially for women as well, that we often have with being brave and with trusting ourselves and backing ourselves, like, even when it's something that we really, really want. And so it's my job to help you to move beyond that, to help you to move beyond your own self-doubt. And I love my job. Like, I love what I do. Really want you guys to have the confidence to just take a chance on yourself, to really just step up, yeah, and to start speaking your truth, and to just start taking action in a way that you haven't before. You know, that's what it really looks like. Yeah, that's what it looks like to act and think like a business owner. Yeah, a yogi-preneur. A yogi-preneur. We have to be willing to take risks, don't we? Yeah, it means we need to step up in our space. We need to become an authority. So we need to start thinking and acting like an authority. What would an authority in that space do? They wouldn't be afraid to reach out to other authorities in the space, to collaborate, to make partnerships, and to be seen, right? They wouldn't be afraid to, you know, do the Facebook lives, to do the Instagrams, to do all of that, to be visible. They step up. They speak with authority. They educate their audience. They do all of those things. And if we are hiding behind a screen, afraid to do those things, then we're not being the authority in our space. Do you see what I mean? We have to do something different if we want a different result. Yeah. So, you know, this is really about your ability to take risks, isn't it? To, like, push yourself out of your comfort zone and to try new things, yeah, to innovate and really work towards something of value. And if you're not prepared to do that, you know, you can't expect that success to come easily. So we move out of our fears. You know, it's the fears that stop us from taking risks. And some of you might have heard me say this before, and I love to say this because it's so true. We have to see our business like a laboratory. Yeah, there's a lot of testing that's going on. Yeah, that happens, and a lot of mucking things up. And, you know, if we're attaching ourselves to thinking, oh, well, people are going to judge us or laugh at us if we make a mistake, you know, welcome that. You know, yeah, I made a mistake, and that's freaking awesome, because now I've gained a whole bunch of experience and learning and wisdom from that. You know, if we're looking at our business like it's a baby, you know, we don't want to drop the baby, you know, we're in big trouble, aren't we? Because then we're not going to want to experiment, try new things, and to take those risks. So, you know, really, you know, don't be afraid of messing up. And as I said earlier, what we're doing here is we're creating that asset in our business, that business asset, that online course that we launch again and again and again and again. Yeah, and we can't be afraid that it's going to go wrong, because it never really goes wrong. It's just a learning experience, and really just be prepared for that. It's inevitable that at some point you're going to run into some challenges. Yeah, there's going to be some setbacks. Welcome it. Yeah, we want to have this positive growth mindset. Yeah, when we do that, when we understand that nothing is, needs to be perfect, and we're just willing to suck at the beginning, yeah, but we know we're going to get better, then that is a brilliant mindset for your success. Yeah, because we can feel comforted, can't we, that, whatever we do today, whatever we publish today and put out there, it's the worst it's going to be, and we're going to continue to get better and better and better. When we have that mindset, everything changes. It really does. It really does. So this is all part of the journey, guys. This is all part of the journey that you are on. You're on this journey now. Yeah, you're setting yourself up for success, and you're starting today, and you're showing up for it, because that's why you're here. Because this is all about you, isn't it? And 100% you taking responsibility for the areas that you want to succeed in, like your life, the things that you're passionate about, your goals and your dreams. And all of these things you have to show up for. Like, only you can turn those things into a reality. And that is what it takes to become a profitable online course creator. It is you. It is you. Amazing. Brilliant, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I've loved this first session, and I really hope that you have too. And I really hope that it's really given you an insight as to what this journey as an online business owner is all about and what it actually takes. And that's why I wanted to start with this today, because it truly is about your mindset and you deciding that you want to show up. You making that commitment to showing up, right? And yes, sending you lots of love wherever you are in the world. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, and I will see you guys later on.